Hey, good morning, everyone. So just getting into the shop here this morning. I want to touch on, this is going to be a little bit of a rant. I want to touch on old boats and old boat motors. So yesterday, my daughter and I decided to go out on the Sea-Doo for one last run up here before it gets stupidly busy for me winterizing, and I had to burn some fuel out of it. So it was a good day. Wasn't really many boats on the water, which kind of surprised me, but I think people have a lot of other things going on. However, end of the day, we decided to go up a little river before, right by the boat launch, and come around the corner, and here is this 10-foot aluminum boat, whatever, you know, all camoed up, and there's this little 7-horse Mercury outboard, red stripe, so like 1960s. All right, and there's two guys in this boat. So anyways, they're pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. So anyways, slow down, chit chat with them. They ran this motor, so we came across them around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They had been out since 6 o'clock in the morning, and they ran this entire stretch of river down to the main lake with this little POS boat and motor. And they got stuck at the far end and had been there for, I don't know, like an hour. And, you know, they were out fishing and whatever else. So you think, okay, well, maybe they have a trolling motor, or they have a paddle, or, you know, a cell phone. Turns out, 2 of them in the boat, full of gear, 1 paddle. And they got to paddle back upriver. So good luck with that. Cell phone, 4% charge. So, I mean, I've been wanting to do this for a little bit, but I just didn't really know, you know, how to bring this across. But the whole point of me wanting to do this is, people, it is time to retire the old stuff. If you're still running a 1960-something, 1970-something, 1980-something, it is time to upgrade your boat and motor. I don't know how else to say it. It's just time. Would you still be driving, you know, the cheapest car out there from the 1960s and the 1970s? Hell no. They're in the junkyard. They're in junkyard heaven right now. They don't exist. And for good reason. Because they break down all the time. And, you know, maybe it's not so bad if you're going out and you're not hurting anybody else but yourself, and you're okay with the risk, or you have a mechanical background. Maybe that's a different story. But we have to stop ruining other people's weekends because you refuse to upgrade your boat, or to service it properly, or to maintain it, or to keep up with the times. If you want to have this nice little motor package, whatever else, and go around your own personal lake, you know, a 5-acre lake, whatever, you know, on this little lake up the road or whatever, that's fine. Running on a major waterway with these POSs, it has to end somewhere. I don't know how. So, case in point, I've stopped working on this stuff. 100%. You come to see me with something like this, no way. It's time for the thing to go. The aftermarket companies, the manufacturers, they got to stop making parts for these. They need to take the warehouse of all these parts and trash them. Get rid of them. That's going to be the only way we're going to maybe get this through people's heads. And they're still going to go out there and try to find some other wreck friggin' motor and try to make 2 out of 1 or 3 out of 1 or 1 out of 3, whatever. You know, I've seen that come through here before. Is, well, I have 3 motors, so maybe you can make one of them work out of all the 3 motors. No, we're done with that. Like, come on. I mean, it's not fair to the other people out there who you're relying on. Oh, somebody's going to tow us in. Yeah, no, we're not out there to tow in. We're looking after our boats, our watercraft, and maintaining them in a way that we know that they're reliable. And you're relying on somebody else now to tow you in? No friggin' way. I mean, So to be fair, down in the States, a lot of the lakes, a lot of the bigger lakes, they all have towboats, which is awesome. That's perfect. That's what we need up here. Because now when you break down, you got to call somebody to come tow you off. So either you call someone that you know, or you got to call the towboat to come get you. And it ain't free. You're getting charged for this. So it should be just like a vehicle on the side of the road. You break down on the water, perfect. You won't know. You want to run your 1984 OMC 3-liter, OMC Cobra on the lake, and it overheats or whatever else, fine. Call the towboat. It's that easy. Stop ruining other people's weekends. I mean, it sucked because what do you do in our situation where, every inch of me said, no, I'm with my daughter. I'm not towing these guys in, blah, blah, blah. They got to learn, right? But on the other hand, it's kind of a teaching moment, because if my daughter broke down on the Sea-Doo by herself, I'd want somebody, to at least get her to shore or something like that. So I could have did that, is just put them to shore, and it would have been fine. But kind of a teaching moment, I guess, for her. But, every inch of me wanted to just leave them there. Like, they had one paddle in the boat. So this is a boat that's designed to have oars. They should have had 2 oars in the boat. At least they would have made headway. But one paddle, downriver, against the current, full of gear. And we're lucky it was a calm day. Because if it wasn't a calm day, these guys would have been swamped somewhere in the middle of the lake. And it wouldn't be the first time that I've been out fishing a tournament or something like that and come across a boat that's capsized or whatever. Just a little POS, middle of the lake, middle of the river, and they're capsized, holding onto a cooler, and oh my God, my boat tipped over and blah, blah, blah. Well, what do you have for a boat? Oh, it was just, an old 5.5 horse from the 60s, and, it was my great-great-great-great-grandfather's, canoe from, the time the immigrants came over. Come on, people. Seriously. It's time. Boating is a recreational thing, okay? And as much as I hate to say this, I would like everyone to enjoy boating and to be out there and enjoying our waterways. When it comes down to it, unless you live on an island somewhere, around here, you do not need a boat. Just because Joe down the street has a boat and Rodney down the street has a boat, you don't need a boat. If you can't afford a decent boat or the maintenance on the boat, you cannot afford a boat. It's that simple. I mean, it's not like your car where you drive it to work and, you're paycheck to paycheck, and you got a tire going down, and every day you're putting air in it. That's one thing. Car, at least you can pull over to the side of the road. I mean, and a car, you need a car. I get that. You don't need a boat. I don't know. I mean, I could talk about this all day, but I mean, at the end of it, the whole point that I'm trying to get across here, it's time to retire the old stuff. If you have a 1960s, a 1970s, a 1980s, and even the early 1990s, if you still have this stuff, it's time to put it in a museum, shine it up, put it in the back of your garage, keep it as a keepsake, or get rid of it. It's that simple. It's ancient technology. Half of the stuff out there, if you're running the Chrysler, if you're running an Evinrude now, if you're running an OMC Cobra, this stuff's all obsolete. They haven't made this stuff in years. I mean, I still know guys that are running Viking outboards. Come on, people. Viking outboards. It pees me off. It really does. It gets frustrating. And I mean, honestly, people coming to the shop now with that stuff, no. Just go. And they're like, well, where do I take it then? Nobody wants to work on it. For good reason. First of all, parts are getting hard to find. Unless it's Evinrude, parts are getting hard to find for any of this stuff. It's time to retire it. It has no place on our waterways whatsoever. And if you want to go from it from a different angle, if you really want to know how much these old motors pollute the waterways, get a barrel, clean it up, put your motor in it, Run it for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. That's it. And look at how much oil and sludge is going to be in that barrel from the exhaust. So if you want another angle on this, if you think I'm just beating the friggin' bush here and ranting and raving about this old junk on the waterway, okay, let's go a different angle. Talk about pollution. That's a huge thing right now. Talk about that. It's time to get these things off the friggin' water. It's just that simple. Anyways, I got that off my chest. Sorry if I offended anybody out there, but I mean, come on. You just got to sit back and think about this for a second. You really do. Because if you're depending on other people or have no issue wrecking other people's weekends, you have no business being on the water. It's that simple. Anyways, it's Monday. That's it for today. Hope everyone's doing good out there. And we're going to touch on this maybe going forward a little bit. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this because, my God, it's getting frustrating. So, anyways, hope everyone's well. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. We're still trying to grow the channel here, so be much appreciated in advance. Again, we'll catch you on the next one, everyone. Have a good day.